Hey, what's up, my good people? I'm back with another video. I told you I was going to bring you another one. And if you watch my last video, just go back, look at the one where I was talking about humanoids. I was so shocked to find out that China has a whole army of humanoids waiting to hit the job market. Some already working. And I always try to tell you about how AI is affecting job loss, but I also try to tell you that you need to learn and understand what AI is. If you are a newcomer to AI, you need to get on your learning journey. If you are a person who's already, kind of familiar with it, maybe you use, ChatGTP, Claude, and things of that nature, you need to up your game. Today, I found another interesting video that I think you would enjoy. And the reason that I think I get these videos and maybe you're not watching them, my algorithms is set up different because I go looking for this information, and guess what happened? I get the plethora of this information. So maybe you should check me out or go check out some of these channels. But today I'm going to be checking out this video along with you, from motivation to study. They got about 5 million subscribers, but that doesn't matter because you get to watch it here with me. We're going to be talking about, if AI takes these jobs, this is what our society will look like. Ooh, isn't that a great subject? So, without wasting any more of your time, let's jump in.
Do you think the people building these AI companies believe that the outcome is going to be all good? It's going to serve everyone. It's going to be the age of abundance. Everything's going to go well. Do you think they believe?
These companies tell us that AI is going to benefit everyone, and that's their mission. But you really start to see that rhetoric break down when you go to the places that look nothing like Silicon Valley.
The jobs most exposed to AI, like coding and accounting, have seen a 13% drop in employment for workers under 25.
We think 50% of entry-level jobs are going to be eliminated in the next 5 years.
How many was? I know he just asked the same question that I was going to ask. How many jobs are going to be eliminated?
Color jobs.
How many was that, right?
50%.
Driving, I think, is one of the biggest employers in the world.
I mean, we've got 9.5 million drivers and couriers on our platform.
Amazon announcing its largest job cuts in years.
Job listings in both the US and UK are plummeting.
If a CEO of one of those companies was to say, we're not going to do this anymore, they would just be replaced. Because the investors are putting their money up because they want to create AGI and reap the benefits of it.
AGI, that's something that you need to go Google. What is AGI? What is UBI? You need to go check that out too. UBI, Universal Basic Income. Oh, it's more to this game than meets the eye. Let's see what they're talking about.
You can imagine the majority of our trips being fulfilled by robots, probably not 10 years from now, but you go 15, 20 years from now, you're going to start getting there.
What do the 9 million people do?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I had to stop it right there. You might have heard me talk about this before. Where do the people go and what do the people do if AI is handling everything? I'm on both sides of the fence. I say it in every video. I'm on both sides of the fence. I'm on the yay AI and I'm on the whoa AI. Sometimes I lean more to the whoa than the yay, but regardless of what I think, regardless of what you think or how you feel, it's coming, it's here. You need to be prepared. Let's continue watching.
What are the occupations that you genuinely believe won't exist 5 years from now as we know them? People say lawyers are going to be disrupted.
Well, I recently had a legal case that I had to resolve, and it was going to cost us £50,000, so $60,000, as a start the process with a law firm. We took matters into our own hands and we used Claude, and we actually fixed the process and resolved the process by spending $20 a month. And Claude gave us a coaching session on how to handle it, gave us multiple decision tree pathways, gave us the documents that we would need, gave us an Excel spreadsheet of do say this, don't say this in the negotiation. And it made me realize, my goodness, what a lawyer's going to do, because if all they do is charge for time for money to regurgitate contracts, I don't need that anymore, right?
Multiple reports say legacy legal tech and data firms have lost roughly 20% of their value so far in 2026.
280 billion was wiped off the value of publicly traded companies like that in the last week. Like, it's wild, because we're not going to need that. I don't believe we're going to need these business models as they currently stand. I think they're going to have to change and adapt. I think a lawyer needs to take a completely different shape. Part business coach, part lawyer, part prompt engineer. They're going to be the key person of AI in the room, who the lawyer's job will be to work with you on your AI prompting and help you get the resolution. You're probably going to need a lot less of a lawyer's time. Blue collar work has been devalued. And we've seen people who work with their hands and people who turn up to your house and fix your house in a devalued role. And it could be in the next, couple of years, these are the roles that are elevated the most, and that plumbers regularly earn more than lawyers.
But it is really this huge...
Y'all know I was itching, trying not to stop it because I wanted you to hear the full point. And I tell people about this all the time. I have my EA. His name is Ethan. You can't tell me Ethan is not a real person working remotely. Ethan is bad to the bone. It's connected through Claude. And I tell all of my clients about Claude and how powerful this thing is. But did you hear him say they was about to spend 50,000 pounds, and Claude basically saved them all of that for $20 a month, as well as educated them on what they needed to do. So I'm talking to all of my service-based businesses. I'm talking about my financial consultants, my tax accountants, my business consultants and strategists and marketers. Hey, your pay for service model is being overtaken by these LLMs that can do it faster, as well as educate the client and save them bukus in money. I can't be mad at that. Think about it from the business perspective. Would you rather pay $20 and get the situation resolved, or get the application built, or whatever that case may be, or would you pay thousands of dollars? See, I might be stepping on my own foot here because some of our platforms and stuff cost thousands of dollars, but at the same time, we are building them custom for you. So that's a little difference. It's not off the shelf types of AI, but I don't know, man. I might be pivoting soon myself. Y'all need to think about this stuff.
Human thing. And I don't know if, machines will have these things in the future, but for certain we do. And there will be jobs where we want to have people. If I'm in a hospital, I want a human being to hold my hand while I'm anxious or in pain. The human touch is going to, I think, take more and more value as the other skills, become more and more automated.
At some point, I think what remains is actually the IRL irreplaceably human stuff, human to human. Our Maslowian needs of being in person like we are now aren't going to change. We need connection. Humans get very sick when they don't have other human beings in their life and strong, deep relationships.
100% agree.
So that stuff is going to matter a whole lot. I have this contrarian weird take that actually maybe this is the first technology that's going to deliver on the promise of making us human and connected, because we're going to be rendered useless at everything else other than what humans are good at. Because all the other technologies said, oh, we're going to make you more connected, connecting the world. And they disconnected the world and isolated the world. But maybe this is the one. It's so intelligent now that it doesn't need us to fuck around in spreadsheets anymore.
Do you see that actually happening in real time right now? That it's making us more able to be in person, connected with one another, having deeper social community engagements?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll give you some data points.
Okay.
Data point number one. The Financial Times released a report on social media usage, and what they saw is 2022 was the peak, and it's plateaued ever since. The generation that's plateaued the fastest and heading down is the younger generations. The boomers are still off to the races, right? Also on Facebook and stuff. And then you look at the way Gen Alpha are using social media, they're not posting as much. They call it posting zero. They're scrolling sometimes, but they're in dark social environments like WhatsApp and Snapchat and iMessage. They're not like performing to the world. They also value IRL experiences much more than any other generation. They're like not getting smashed. We're seeing every brand has a run club. And we're seeing this real sort of almost like innate realization that like technology let us down at some fundamental level. Like dating apps let us down, social networking kind of has let us down. And we're seeing, I think, maybe a bifurcation of society where a lot of people are going, fuck this, like, I want to go back to what it is to be a human.
Yeah.
I was looking at the top 10 jobs according to AI that are most likely to be disrupted. And it said things like drivers, with McKinsey estimating 30% of them will be automated by 2030, customer service, representative and call center reps, which I used to be.
Same.
50% headcount reductions after AI rollout, according to some estimates. Some go up to about 80%. I actually saw a tool on my timeline yesterday that is real human voice, indistinguishable from humans, that's just launched and is causing a huge stir. So that they're thinking that will replace even more of the customer service roles. I did speak to the CEO of Klarna. TLDR, as he said, we currently have 7,000 employees. We're going to be able to get down to 3,000. He said after summer because of AI. And we'll be using our existing team members that are in customer service roles to do more sort of bespoke, white glove,
VIP stuff will go up. In fact, Jevlin's paradox would suggest that a lot of the dehumanizing repetitive work will go away. But actually, if there are AI bots that are really good at setting appointments for a VIP human person to have a conversation, then that work will go through the roof. Because one of the reasons that people, like right now, most companies wish they could have more VIP conversations, but the appointment setting, they don't have a lot of the low-level appointment setting stuff happening. And if the appointment setting stuff, if the cost of that goes to zero, then the affordability of the VIP level treatment becomes much more feasible.
Retail cashiers, admin assistants, bookkeepers, and payroll clerks, sales, development reps, warehouse workers, with Amazon and others reporting that robots now assist or replace labor in roughly 40% of fulfillment tasks. And that Boston Dynamics video, which I'll put up on the screen, shows a humanoid robot working in a factory.
What's nice about some of this is that many of the jobs here are jobs that a lot of people don't actually like doing. They are repetitive and dehumanizing, they're late night, they're early mornings. So potentially, provided there is a Jevlin's paradox that something happens that's more fun, more humanizing, more interesting, more VIP, more chaotic, and all of that sort of stuff, it could be a very positive thing.
I had to stop it right there for two things. The retail industry. Well, the retail industry is downsizing in a way. When you go into a store nowadays, you see more self-checkout kiosks than you see people at a cash register. So they already been transitioning that model. They can have one person standing by, five or six those self-checkout things, and you checking out your own stuff and they just standing there waving at you. So that is going down. I can see that. But when the guy said about the jobs, doing the jobs that people don't like anyway, I have to kind of disagree. I don't think it's about a like thing. I think it's about a living thing. You just, some people, I'm not gonna say everybody, but some people go to work to get a paycheck to feed the families, keep the lights on and things of that nature. They might not love the job, and it might be something working in the warehouse, stocking shelves or taking inventory or whatever the case may be. They're not there because they were looking to have so much fun. They are there because it pays them, they get a check, and they go home and help their families. Now, if you take away that scenario, where does that worker go? If all of the jobs in this particular category goes away, where does that worker go? Now, if you ask me, I'm telling that worker right there, hey, come and holler at me, come and holler at people just like me, up your skills. So when they start cutting stuff off the block, you can say, hey, keep me on because I know about AI. Tom and Sally over there, they don't even want nothing to do with AI. So they're going home. But just the person, the man or the woman who waved their hand and say, "Hey, I got a certificate in AI, or I took some AI courses, or I utilize AI in my personal life so I understand it," guess who's going to stay at that job role? 55% of all jobs are being reshaped by AI right now. The question isn't whether it will affect your business or current job role, it's whether you'll be ready when it does. I'm Dr. DeMario McElwain. I've trained hundreds of business leaders and working professionals to not just survive AI, but use it as their greatest competitive advantage. Your first step is free. Visit drdemario.com and schedule your call today.
But people also want human experiences. So it's not actually just about the capabilities of the models. It's also about what people want. Like some things they would turn to AI for, and some things they wouldn't, irrespective of whether or not AI is capable of doing it. But because of a preference that they want human to human interaction. And so what we're seeing right now is, yeah, the thing that happens with every wave of automation, which is that there is a bunch of entry-level work that gets automated away. And there are also new jobs created, but the jobs that are created are in one of two categories. There are people that get even higher skilled jobs. And what he was saying, like we pay people more for like the handcrafted code now. And there's also the people who get way worse jobs. And so there was this amazing article in New York Magazine that was talking about how a lot of people are getting laid off, and then they end up working in data annotation, which is the labor that I've been referring to throughout this conversation that companies need in order to teach their models the next thing that the companies are trying to automate. And so like a marketer gets laid off, and then they go and work for a data annotation firm to train the models on the very job that they were just laid off in, which will then perpetuate more layoffs if that model then develops that skill. And the article was talking about how this has become a huge catch-all for a lot of people that are struggling with finding job opportunities right now, including like award-winning directors in Hollywood that are actually secretly doing this data annotation work to put food on the table. And so when they talk about there's going to be mass unemployment and then there's going to be some new jobs created that we can't even imagine, I think a lot of these narratives rarely talk about the jobs. A lot of the jobs that are created are way worse than the jobs that were there. Yeah. And it breaks the career ladder. So it's the entry level and the mid-tier jobs that get gouged out. It's higher order jobs and then way more lower order jobs that get created. And so how do people continue to progress in their careers? There's no more rungs on the ladder.
Now, driving, I think, is one of the biggest employers in the world, like as a profession.
I mean, we've got 9.5 million drivers and couriers on our platform. We are the largest organizer of flexible work around the world. And I think the second largest workforce is the Chinese army.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big group of folks that we've organized.
And statistically, there's less accidents in an autonomous Tesla than there is if a human drives it. So it's safer for my car to drive itself statistically than for me to drive it. That's true, right? That the autonomous driving is currently safer. Those 9 million drivers' careers that you have will be out of work, conceivably, talking about being honest about the situation.
Yeah, I think, again, it goes to physical AI as well, right? So I think 20 years from now, you can imagine that those 9 million will be 20 million AVs maybe, but we have time between now and then.
Time for who? 20 years. I'm a grandfather. My granddaughter is 3. 20 years from now, she's 23. Just stepping into the world. So who has the time? That's what we need to ask.
Partially because we don't operate in the virtual world, right? We operate in the physical world. You have to get the regulations up. You have to build the cars. You have to build the sensor stacks. The models have to get there. So there is time between now and then, but you can imagine the majority of our trips being fulfilled by robots of some kind, probably not 10 years from now, but you go 15, 20 years from now, you're going to start getting there.
What do the 9 million people do?
I don't know. Now, we are expanding the kind of work that's available on the platform, partially as a result of it, right? We used to be, the only work is driving, now there's delivering, you can have shoppers as well. I think it'll be a little while at least before you get AI shoppers. And now actually we have a team called Uber AI Solutions that allows people to train these same agents and train AI agents and AI models and do all kinds of knowledge-based work on their phone as well to kind of extend the kind of work that we offer humans on our platform and different opportunities for them to make money. So we are extending the platform, and then the question is how much of the platform gets automated and what's the velocity at which we can extend our platform into other kinds of work versus the velocity of automation. I can't tell you which is going to go faster.
Hand on heart, though, it does appear that unemployment is going to be significantly increased in a world of AI, especially, we just imagine this sort of continual rate of improvement. I just can't.
You would have to, unless, again, historically in societies, new kinds of jobs have come up.
Knowledge jobs, physical jobs.
Yeah, I mean,
but now we've disrupted both.
That's why there's a question here. And I do think there's a real question as to the ability of societies to retrain, the abilities of human beings to retrain themselves. AI is going to be a part of that. But the timing there, how fast is it going to go? It's a real question mark. I think you're absolutely right.
We're not just talking to you about training yourself. You better take it up on yourself because no one's coming to save you. I'm telling you right now, no one is coming to save you. You have to train yourself.
I don't think it's going to be a big issue in the next 5 years. But when you go 5+ years, it's going to become more of an issue for society at large.
The question of, well, if everything goes right, if we create AGI, we figure out how to make it safe, we achieve all these economic miracles, then you face a problem. And this is not a new problem, right? So John Maynard Keynes, who was a famous economist in the early part of the 20th century, wrote a paper in 1930. So this is in the depths of the Depression. It's called On the Economic Problems of Our Grandchildren. He predicts that at some point, science will deliver sufficient wealth that no one will have to work ever again. And then man will be faced with his true eternal problem. How to live, I don't remember the exact word, but how to live wisely and well when the economic incentives, the economic constraints are lifted. We don't have an answer to that question, right? So AI systems are doing pretty much everything we currently call work. Anything you might aspire to, like you want to become a surgeon, it takes the robot 7 seconds to learn how to be a surgeon. That's better than any human being.
Elon said last week that the humanoid robots will be 10 times better than any surgeon that's ever lived.
Quite possibly, yeah. Well, and they'll also have, they'll have hands that are, a millimeter in size, so they can go inside and do all kinds of things that humans can't do. And I think we need to put serious effort into this question. What is a world where AI can do all forms of human work that you would want your children to live in? What does that world look like? Tell me the destination so that we can develop a transition plan to get there. And I've asked AI researchers, economists, science fiction writers, futurists. No one has been able to describe that world.
Shucks, man. I say train the human and deploy the AI. Don't flip it around. I say we should empower our workers, our leaders, even the lowest man that you may consider the lowest man or woman on the totem pole. I believe that we should give them this information, train them on how to be better, and then put everybody in the workforce to be way more productive, 10x our revenues across the board, and just become a thriving country. That's what I think, but I don't think that's the plan or what they're thinking. So, hey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching. Like I say again, go to Dr. DeMario, drdemario.com. it's a bunch of information on there. Connect with me. Y'all see I'm bothered, right? I'm continuously bothered. My brain just keeps thinking about all of this, man. And believe it or not, some years ago, I was daydreaming that we will live in this world, but now I'm in this world and I'm saying, whoa, I didn't think about the downside. So, we're going to continuously talk about the pros and cons of AI. I promise you the next video I bring up and we're going to talk about some pros. We're going to get some higher spirits going on and we're going to teach you how to do something so you don't have to worry about the stuff that we watched today or the stuff that you may have seen on my channel last week, whatever the case may be. Until then, talk with you later. Thank you for watching another Talking Techish episode with Dr. DeMario.